Welcome in, guys. We are live here, joining the coverage a little bit late because the owners could not bear with us and give us a chance to get this started. But I come to you live from Nesson with coverage of the NEFL, a wild card game matchup between the Browns and the Jets. Jets are coming in a 0-0 game still at 4:50 left in the first. Malik does hand it off to the young back Perry. Big acquisition earlier this season from the New York Giants. Running back that certainly saw a lot of carries, took away from Saquon Barkley's, load management, if you will, last season. Certainly developed well, and then the Giants were finally ready to move on, give the reins back to their man Saquon Barkley. And now we see him in New York going up in these playoffs against the Browns. Malik back in shotgun with Perry off to the right. Making a number of adjustments at the line. Browns are coming out in a hybrid man zone here. Willis does drop back. He's looking left. Has his man, fits it in between the zones there. What a throw. What a stop on the route by Ron Smith. And that's going to be a first down for the New York Jets. Welcome in, guys. And like I said, we are jumping in mid-game here. So appreciate you guys joining. We are drinking because, again, there's no rules at Nesson. And we're working from home tomorrow. And we're working right now. Should I get paid for this? Malik coming out in the pistol. Typical of the Jets, they make a lot of adjustments at the line, so they kind of call for a hike late in the play clock most times throughout the game. They are not chewing. Simply the owner calls a lot of adjustments. They do hand it off to Perry. It seemed like he had a hole there up the middle, but he tries to bounce it outside, and that man, Myles Garrett, still going strong. Actually, that was Troy Anderson that came away with the tackle, but Myles Garrett was right there kind of stuffing the tackle. And Browns do get a loss on the play. Brings up a 2nd and 12 for the New York Jets. Malik back in the pistol. 2 wide receivers out to the left. Does hand it off to Elliott. Somehow still going strong. Ezekiel Elliott only gets 1 there with his first rush on the day. Very interesting that the Jets have gone very heavy towards Gerard Perry, especially as you get into these playoffs. We see teams around the league use their young running backs throughout the season, kind of spell those older running backs, and then come playoffs, they lean on the vets. The Jets are doing quite the opposite here. But Malik comes back out in the shotgun. You almost will never see Malik coming out under center, just not in the Jets' DNA this cycle. Browns are showing an interesting man coverage with 3 zones over top. Malik simply can't find anything. He scrambles out to the right, looking downfield. He has a man. He decides to keep himself, and he's going to get pretty close to the first down yard line, but comes up with a 4th and 3. And the Jets look like they're running out the field goal team. Must have a lot of faith in their kicker. Not quite sure the wind here in this game as Bucker lines up for about a 62-yarder. And he has plenty of leg on that one. Could have made that from 68. The Jets take an early lead, 3-0 with 1:40 left in the first. Welcome in, guys. How's everybody doing tonight? And that one's booted out the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Browns roll out. Nelson under center in the heavy formation. Very different from what we saw in the Jets drive. Handoff is to Turner, who runs over, man, and picks up 4 on first down. Brings up a 2nd and 6. Browns have a young rookie standout here this season, Moats, who was an absolute breakout in camp, thanks to the veteran, quote unquote, Anthony Schwartz, and Moats has just run away with the yardage this season for the Browns. They are drawing up their shot play, looking for Schwartz, and the Jets are able to break that one up. That is the Browns' bread and butter play. We saw that work for them in the Super Bowl last season. They go to it here in the first quarter, but the Jets are all over it. They were ready for it. They watched their film this week. They're able to get the pass break up on that play. And now the Browns will come out of in their shotgun as Nelson is looking across, 3 to his right. Schwartz split off to the left. Looks like he might have Schwartz if he can get away, but the Jets bring pressure and they get to him. They rattle Nelson and it brings up a 4th and 6 and another Browns punt. Punting from their own 29. 6 miles per hour win against them. That's why we saw Bucker have so much leg on that field goal. 6 mile per hour wins in his favor on that one, and the Browns are simply going to punt this out of bounds. They do not want that ball getting to Bartell, and I cannot blame them. Young man Bartell, one of the best defensive back prospects we've seen developed here in this cycle. An absolute lockdown corner. Took him a little bit his rookie season, but he got there, and he is one of the elite outside cornerbacks in this league. Malik comes out under center. Take back what we said there on the previous drive. The Jets are showing a little bit of a heavy formation on offense here. Browns are staying in their man formation, very confident in their players and their ability to cover in man coverage. Jets continue with their adjustments at the line. Malik drops back, looking to pass. He had his man out to the left. The Browns should have came away with an interception there, and Malik gets lucky. That one's just swatted away. You gotta love the animations. It's interesting. Just get lucky. They're able to retain the ball on their own 41. Malik's going to hand it off this time, probably well advised. Gerard Perry is going to pick up a couple there, brings up a 3rd and 6. Getting stuff so far in the day, you start to question, what are the Jets doing? Where's the veteran Ezekiel Elliott? We need to be seeing him out there. This is what you save him all year for, and he's simply wasting away on the bench. Perry doesn't have it so far. Obviously was a stud throughout the regular season, but this is normally where you want to lean on your vets. Malik coming out in the shotgun, moves under center, sees something in the defense that he wanted to get changed at the line of scrimmage, sees the man coverage from the Browns. They're going to hand it off. A great play call as Perry breaks away his first big run of the day all the way down to the 38-yard line. Great call there by the New York Jets. I was not expecting it. Defense obviously was not expecting that one, and they're able to pick up a big gain for a first down as we come to the close of the first quarter. I don't know where I should be looking, this way or this way. We'll stick over here. Willis back out in the shotgun, running back off to his right. Trips left on 1st and 10 on the 38-yard line. He's going to keep it here. Carmichael's all over that one. He was ready for it. They watched their film this week. Stops Malik Willis for no yards on that play. We'll watch it right here. How about that? That way I'm looking at camera a little bit better. All right, Malik coming back out in the shotgun, running back off to the right. Making his adjustments again at the line. Browns are very steady in their man coverage. Malik drops back pretty far. He has John House. John House catches it into the end zone, and the Jets take a 9-0 lead. That young man, John House, I can just hear him from the field up here in the broadcast booth. I am here. I'm here. You know John House is built for these moments. He was doubted, stacked the chips on his shoulder. A lot of draft experts, quote-unquote experts, didn't have him going to the 2nd, 3rd round. But you know what? He was right there on that play. Came up big in the playoffs as the Jets are able to extend their lead 10-0. Great throw and catch there by Malik to the young man, John House. All right, we're looking back over here. It's a little bit easier for us to look. Chat's here, game's here. That's how we're doing it. You hate it? Let me know. All right, Cleveland comes out down 10-0. Needs to get something going here. Nelson comes out in the empty set. 3 receivers to his right with 1 tight end off the line of scrimmage. Nelson dropping back. Has nothing. Jets are getting there, and he does find his man Schwartz, able to cut in front of the defenders. Almost looked like that ball was forced, but Nelson was able to hang in there before Shane Patterson could get to him. Strikes his veteran Anthony Schwartz for a big first down there. Time and time again throughout the cycle, we've seen Anthony Schwartz come up massive in these playoffs. Looks like they're going to him early and often again. Nelson back out in the shotgun, running back off to his right. On their own 48-yard line. Knocking on the red zone. They throw it quickly out to Santos. This is the battle of the 2 tight ends, Santos, in this game. 2 of the better, more premier tight ends in the entire NEFL. Jonathan Santos for the Cleveland Browns and Ron Santos with the New York Jets. Both have developed into absolute vertical threats out of that tight end position, which is massive for these 2 passing attacks. Jets are coming out in the Buffalo Bills specialty here on defense. The 2 linebackers up to the line of scrimmage. Nelson making adjustments at the line. Likes what he sees. He's looking deep. And he looks back across the field. Finds Tony, who's going to get down to the 25-yard line. And the Browns are now in business for their first red zone opportunity of the day. They would love to get 7 back here. Make it a 3-point game again. We'll see what they can do. Nelson coming back out in the shotgun. Turner off to his right. Looks like run. Maybe a little bit of gamesmanship. A little fake audible at the line of scrimmage. Turner's going to have a nice easy run there for a first down. I don't know what the Jets were expecting there. Certainly it was not the run. And the Browns offensive line runs right through that defensive front. And they get now down to the 15-yard line. Nelson back out in the gun at the 15. Trips to the right. Looking to set something up. They're seeing a look that they do like here. Schwartz on that zig. That's exactly where they're going. And he's going to get down to the 7-yard line. Just defender, just a little bit too hesitant there. Saw the running back angle coming across the middle of the field. Was a little too late getting out to Schwartz. And he's able to pick up 8 yards on that first down. Browns coming out in what looks to be an RPO. Jets are all over the pass option, but Turner's able to pick up a first down, brings up a 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. The Browns are knocking at the door. Again, probably be very well advised. Just keep the ball on the ground here. You don't want to cause any mistakes. We're nearing in 4 minutes left in this first half. Very low scoring game for these 2 elite offenses. Those look like run. The Jets are certainly expecting it. Plenty of men in the box. Fake the handoff, and before he can even hand the ball off to the running back, Shane Patterson comes through. I believe that is Shane Patterson. Yes, it is. And tackles the quarterback before he's even able to get rid of the ball there. What a play. Shot the gap, a little Jadeveon Clowney-esque. Cycle back the clock. Nelson now 2nd and goal from the 8. They're coming out in the pistol. They're looking to pass the ball now. Looking end zone. Finds his man in between defenders. The Jets left the middle open. Moats finds that seam. And Nelson's able to strike it before the defense gets to him. And they bring the game back to 3. Pending this extra point. And they get it. 10-7 ball game. 3:40 left on the clock for the Jets. Again, we've seen actually a couple times this season, Jets have mismanaged the clock. Even going back to previous seasons, they've come up on some games where they should have been blown out their opponent. They mismanage it towards the end of the game. That could be a regular season thing. We'll see if they've learned their lesson. This is exactly the time you want to feed that young back, Gerard Perry. Get a couple first downs, bring down this clock, score. Don't leave too much time left on the clock for the Browns. And if you are going to punt the ball back, don't give them enough time to go down for a drive. They certainly are not listening to me, though, as they come out on the empty set. Malik Willis himself is a running threat. They do audible to the single back. Just maybe listening into the broadcast here. Maybe I'm giving myself too much credit as Perry goes right up the middle. Just too easy there on that one. Picks up about 15 down to the 39-yard line. The wind is coming at them, so you are going to have to get a little bit closer here for a field goal opportunity. Bear that in mind. So the 62-yarder is probably out of play, even though we saw Bucker nail that one earlier. That was going the other direction. Malik dropping back again in this empty set. Forces it over to Wilson. He's able to make a man miss. He's down across the first down yard line to the 49. Malik is 4 for 5 on the day for 83 yards. Very, very efficient. Doesn't look flashy, doesn't look fancy, but it's getting the job done so far. Clock comes down within 3 minutes. Jets are in their heavy formation. If I know the Jets, they're looking RPO here. Or play action. If they're motioning him, they're looking play action here. Browns are expecting it. They go to a man coverage. Oh, it is a handoff to Perry as he breaks free. He's down across the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, New York Jets. And that's going to extend their lead to 7, barring a missed extra point here. As Bucker lines up and he knocks that one through. Brings up a 17-7 ball game. Only wiping off a minute 20 off the clock. Browns with plenty of time to strike back before half here. Jets would love to come up with a big time stop here on defense. If I'm the Browns, I want to make sure I'm scoring here. They do boot this one off to Moats, the young man, one of the fastest players in the league, as he finds a seam. And oh my gosh, I can't believe they caught him. He gets down to the 47-yard line, though. They are already in field goal position. They have the wind at their backs. Jets may want to rethink about kicking into Moats again. He was almost gone there. Caught by just a hair length. Touchdown saving tackle on that play as Nelson comes out under center to start the drive here. Looking potentially some play action here. They do fake the handoff. Nelson dropping back. Looking deep, looking for the seam, finds that young man. Most plays broken up. It is broken up by Bartell. As I said earlier, one of the elite corners in the NEFL. He comes up big there, stops Moats from walking in to the end zone, and brings up a 2nd and 10. What a play. Those are the plays that you need to have made in the playoffs. And he did it right there. Browns looking to run the ball. They do. And they do get stuffed. Brings up a 3rd and 9 here as we near it on the 2-minute warning. Looks like that one will take us down to the 2-minute warning before we get to see the next play from the Browns. Guys, if you're just joining, welcome to the NEFL season. I can't count. I think 73 Wil Card Round matchup here between the Browns and the Jets. I believe this is a 2 versus 6 matchup. Or no, 2 versus 7 because we're in the first round here. Jets just squeaking in, even though they had, I believe it was 11 wins on the season. 11 or 10 from the Jets this year. AFC is very competitive, very tough to make it. We unfortunately were knocked out, didn't have a chance. But hey, we're rooting AFC East here. So, like to see the Jets up early. Browns do find Bartell out of the backfield just too easy on the quick seam there. Brings up a 1st down at the 40-yard line. Again, guys, they are in field goal range. At this point, you at least want to make it a 1-score game. I know the Browns want 6 here as they are lining up their specialty to Moats. And they just hit the quick out route. Very well advised. The Browns are not a squad that tries to force things. They take what the defense is giving them. He was able to read that very quickly. Found Schwartz for the quick out route. Picks up 7 on that play. And it stops the clock. Nelson back out in the gun. Plenty of time, plenty of timeouts for the Browns. Hands it off to Bartell. Well advised. He's going to pick up about 7 there. Down to the 26-yard line, 1st and 10. Minute 20 left on the clock. Exactly what the Browns want here. They don't want to give the ball back to the Jets with any time to score. You want to go ahead, try come away with 7 here, go into the locker room, only down 3.5. Nelson back out in the gun, in the pistol. Looking through their plays here. Nelson finds something he likes. 10 left on the play clock. Fakes the handoff, looking to throw. Just coverage is getting there, and he simply is able to throw that one away. That's what Gunslinger can do for you. You're able to get the ball away. Gunslinger, a quick draw. Just before the Jets' defensive pressure can get there. Jets D-line's playing very well. And I think, is Bonito back? Yeah, it looks like Bonito is back today. I know he's out towards the end of the season there, but he is back for the New York Jets today. As Turner makes a nice cut, finds some space, gets down into the end zone, and they score. The Browns bring this one back to a field goal, barring a missed extra point here, and they're able to knock that one through. 17-14 game. Very smart play call. Jets were all over the pass coverage there. Browns kind of realized it. They handed it off to their trusty back. He was able to escape through that defensive front and find his way to 6. 17-14 game. Still a bit of time here for the Jets. If I know the Jets, they are not happy walking into halftime with only a 3-point lead. They're going to try and make something happen here. They come out in the heavy formation against 3-man front. Browns see it. They call timeout. Again, plenty of time, so they certainly could run the ball there. They want this from the Browns, though. They want the heavy set on defense. I almost guarantee you they're looking for something with House. It doesn't look like House is in the game. He's on the right. That's the adjustment they want to see. Yep, Willis making his adjustments at the line. He does drop back. Probably had Santos. Still does. He's able to get that one, and Santos gets out of bounds. Stops the clock. 38 seconds. The Jets are in business. Down to the 48-yard line. Plenty of time here to at least come away with 3. I know the Jets are thinking 6. Malik back out in the heavy. They run the ball, knowing that they have a timeout in their pocket. Perry gets down across the 50 or just to the 50. 30 seconds left on the clock. What are the Jets doing? You need to call a timeout. What is this clock management? I don't know what the Jets are doing. The clock's going to wind down here. They're only going to have 15 seconds left by the time they call this. Very interesting play call here. I guess they're thinking if they stay in bounds. Snaps the ball. 13 left on the clock. Willis looking deep. He finds his man Smith. And he comes down with it, down to the 14-yard line. 8 seconds left on the clock at the half. You come away with a guaranteed 3, or do you take one shot to the end zone here? Chat, what do you guys think? What do y'all think? It looks like the Jets are coming out looking for 6 still. What a throw by the young man Malik Willis, or at this point, veteran Malik Willis. Took a little bit to develop, but he is here in these playoffs against the Browns. Willis back out in the gun. Trips off to his right. Making a number of adjustments. Looks like man coverage on the elite tight end here. Plenty of zones to cover the corner routes if that's what they're looking for. Oh, that is just not smart. That is not smart. And the Browns are going to get away with not allowing any points there in the half. I don't know what the Jets were thinking. If you're going to make a throw, you need to make sure that it's just going out of bounds, or you have a guy wide open in the end zone. To check it down like that with only 8 on the clock to start that play, just not well advised at all there. Jets basically give up 3 points. Could have went to half with a 6-point lead, and instead the Browns get away with 1 right there. Guys, let me know who you think's winning here. Jets with a 3-point lead. Browns a little bit of momentum working for their side. Guys, who do you think's coming away with the win here? What does everyone think? Jets do start with the ball. Since we got to the game a little bit late here, we didn't quite know who was coming with it at half. Looks like the Jets will have the win in the fourth quarter as well, which is massive. Browns have it here in the third quarter. But to have that in the fourth quarter in a game like this, a super close, you love to see it as if you're on the Jet side. Willis comes out in the gun, running back behind him. Two tight ends off to the right. Apparently they have a tight end number 46 on the squad. Maybe a fullback. Santos burns his man. Oh my God. Not Santos, Smith. The elite tight end for the Jets, Ron Smith. Santos is on the Browns. Wide open on that play. Yeah, absolutely just need to feed him at this point. If he's going to burn man coverage like that, then you need to throw it to him all day. Willis back out in the gun. Browns probably thinking run here. But just look like they like a look. They do hand it off though. Perry finds a lot of space. He's crossed the 40, crossed the 30. That man's breaking away. Cross the 10. Touchdown, Jets. As they extend their lead to 10 here, barring the missed extra point. And Bucker's going to go ahead and knock that one through. What a play call by the Jets. The Jets sticking to the ground game, something we see them get away from way too often in the regular season. But here they are today, sticking to it, letting that young man, Gerard Perry, prove us wrong. We were the ones talking earlier about bringing Zeke into the game. The Jets stuck with their young running back, even though he didn't have great results there in the first half. And he comes out huge to start the second half with a big touchdown. Excuse me, guys. Been a little bit of a long day. Here comes out the Browns on their first drive of the second half here. Nelson under center. They do hand it off to Turner, coming off the big touchdown run to end the second half there for their offense. 6 rushes, about 50 yards on the day for Turner. We are about out of bourbon. Are we sponsored? Whoa, Kirkland, Tennessee whiskey. Guys, buy cheap. The expensive stuff does not necessarily always taste better. This whole 1.75 costs the price of a normal Jack handle. It tastes the exact same, honestly. All right, Nelson out of the gun, trips to his right. Looks like they have a receiver open. They're going to find him as Clifford comes back for that one, picks up the big gain down to the 31-yard line. They move across the field with one play. Great call by Nelson there, getting out of the pocket, buying himself some time, allowing Clifford to get open on that pass. The Browns are now knocking on the red zone again, trying to close this lead. Both quarterbacks firing on all cylinders today. Handoff goes to Turner, who's going to pick up about 4 there on the first down. Brings up a 2nd and 6. Cheers, boys. Nelson back out in the gun. Looking to pass. Looking for their specialty route, and he just throws it out of the reach of Moats. They try to draw that one up. Looked like he had his man beaten on that play, and simply Nelson cannot hit him. Honestly, we had a couple throws like that today. It's weird because you get the feedback is good. That is an accurate throw, but it's just out of the reach of the wide receivers. Gotta love those animations. Here comes out Nelson on 3rd and 6. Need to pick up a first down here. 3 will still keep you within a score. So at this point, you also want to make sure you're not turning the ball over. Running back looks open. Johnson's not able to get there in time, and Bartell is down across the 10-yard line. Battle of the Bartells here. Bartell, obviously defensive player for the Jets and running back here for the Browns. Drafted in the same draft. So weak front, be shocked if the Browns simply don't run it. You see a 3-man front, it normally spells run all day. The Jets bring pressure. Nelson is able to get the ball out quickly, finds Schwartz, gets down to the 1-yard line, brings up a 2nd and goal. What a heads up play there, and ready football by Stanley Nelson. That's why he's a 2-time Super Bowl MVP. He finds his veteran target in Schwartz, and they are knocking here at the goal line. Hands it off to Turner. Turner is stuffed. He's pulled back. He had the end zone in his sights. All he needed to do was stick out his tongue like Lightning McQueen, and he would have been in for 6. And he comes up short. Jets defender pulls him from behind, keeps him out of the end zone. 3rd and goal at the 1. Probably well advised just to run the ball again. Looks like they are running some sort of stretch play here as Schwartz comes in closer to the line of scrimmage. They do go stretch. He cuts it back up the middle. Just too easy. And the Browns are in for 6 there. Big drive in response by the Browns there. Cuts the game back down to 3. And the Jets will take over with the ball here. 8 plays, 3 minutes on that drive. These two offenses going score for score right now. It might come down to whoever gets the first stop here. I wouldn't be shocked if the first stop ultimately comes as a result of some sort of turnover. Not even necessarily error of a quarterback, but maybe some pressure or throwing out of a sack. That might be the game changer in this game. Jets coming out in the pistol to start their offensive drive here. Smith in the backfield with Perry behind Willis. Again, making their adjustments as the Jets do. Willis will take the clock all the way down if he needs to. Looking across the middle, finds Garrett Wilson. The Jets do boast one of the better top-end receiving cores in the NEFL. Garrett Wilson, Jerry Jeudy, staples of a great offense. And then coming in with Ron Smith and John House to round that core out. That's some of the best 4 receivers you'll ever see on the field together for one offense. There's a big reason why they're here in these playoffs and looking very strong against the defending champs. Willis hands it off, and the Browns come up with a big stop there. First time in a while that they've been able to stop Perry. Stops him for a loss of 1 there. Troy Anderson coming over this offseason from the Atlanta Falcons. One of the great young linebackers in the NEFL here, now playing for a team coming off a Super Bowl win. Very interesting to see a player of his caliber go to a team that's year in, year out in the mix for the Super Bowl. And the Browns were very happy they were able to get that deal done. Willis, a read option here, simply just cannot find running room for himself today. Only 3 rushes for 8 yards. Certainly frustrating that young man as half of his game is just on his feet. Hasn't been able to find the space today, unfortunately. Brings up 3rd and 10. Again, I was just saying, it might come down to whoever can get the first stop. Browns are knocking on a stop here. They're coming out in man cover in zone coverage. Very interesting. We're seeing a lot of man coverage early. Look like a little bit of cross manning going on here. But Willis in the gun, looking to pass, finds his running back up the seam, taking a page out of the Browns book from the previous drive, and that's just too easy right there. Nobody accounted for the running back. He slipped right through the offensive line. Willis finds him early. They pick up a first down now at the 37-yard line, knocking on the red zone. Willis drops back. He's looking deep. Jeudy has a step. He's going to come down with it. What a throw. What a catch. And the Jets get another 6, looking to extend the lead to 10 here on this extra point. Bucker is able to knock that one through. The lead is now 31-21. Score for score. The Browns had an opportunity there on 3rd and 10. Simply could not come up with a stop. The Jets make them pay for that. And now the ball is going right back to the Cleveland Browns. Mose is ready. He's taking this one to the house. Nope. We called it. He got stopped at the 16. I like that lane, but the lone defender there for the Jets was able to kind of sneak through, make a big play there on that return. Two minutes left in the third here. Plenty of game left. Nelson coming out under center on this drive. They're going to hand it off as Patterson gets into the backfield, but Turner makes a miss. Somehow picks up 3 after getting touched 3 yards in the backfield there. Huge run out of Turner. He's playing great today. Not a lot of space, but his cutbacks, his stiff arms have been on point today, making the most out of very little breathing room. Nelson in the gun. Jets coming back out in that Bills formation. Nelson looking right, finds his man Moats, who's just going to take it out of bounds. Was looking to get the edge there, wasn't able to turn it upfield, but they'll take the first down to their own 30-yard line. Or up to. Nelson in the gun again. We're not seeing a lot of heavy formation. Can't blame them. Not the way these two offenses have been running as Turner finds space up the middle. That one's just too easy there. I don't know what the Jets are running defensively, but is not the recipe for a run-stopping defense there. As that is just an easy 10-yard lines, 10-yard gain. I fully expect the Browns to kind of stick to the run here. They're coming out of their look again, not stacking the box. They do fake the handoff though. Nelson dropping back. Bonito gets pressure, but he's able to find Tony. Ignores the pressure. Bonito cannot get there in time. Had a shot. Swung and missed. And Nelson stayed alive and found his young man Tony across the middle. Nelson is rolling out as the X Factor has been engaged. They're setting up their shot play here. They like the look. Safety comes down, but they fire it out quick to the right to find Bartell. Again, Browns are very smart in those plays. We're all expecting that big shot play. We know that's the bread and butter of this offense. They love that that little go route to the outside, but they take what's there. If they have something open quick, they'll check it down every single time. Nelson drops back to throw again. Finds Tony across the middle. Amos is not able to keep up with him defensively there. Brings us to the end of the third quarter. Browns are going to start the fourth quarter here down 10 in the red zone. Certainly with another great opportunity to bring this game back within a score at least. They're trying to make sure that they do get a touchdown, keep that game within 3. Jets are hoping to bend, don't break here. Try to come up with 3 stops to force a fourth down, but they haven't been able to slow down this Browns offense since early in the first quarter. Nelson hands the ball off to Turner. Jets were ready for it. Finally, they're accounting for the run, and they stop him there for only a gain of a yard. Most efficient run defense we've seen this drive, of this half really, out of the Jets. You know, it's smart by the Browns. Make them stop it. Make them go heavy. Beat them over top. Although now you're kind of compressed in the red zone. Just back out and only 3 down linemen. Certainly a great formation run against. Browns aren't ready for it. They try force over the middle and John Johnson's there. He did not see John Johnson underneath. He jumps up, snags that ball, and that is a huge turnover from the Jets. Browns need to come away with at least 3 there. Need to protect the football. And the Jets potentially with the play of the game out of John Johnson. Massive play. They do hand it off here to Perry to start the drive. Very smart for them. Sticking to the run. It looks like one of their offensive linemen is down with an injury. That certainly hurts, as this offensive line has been making holes for the running backs all day. It's very tough to see one of your elite offensive linemen go out there. Hopefully he'll be back soon. Browns coming out in a little bit of a cover zero look. First time we're seeing this game. It could be a little bit of desperation. The Jets are going to stick with it on the ground. Perry has one man to beat, makes a nice spin move, but he is stopped there. It's a 3rd and 4. Spruce looks like he'll be able to come back into the game. We'll get with our sideline reporter to see what the call is by the head coach there. But Willis coming out in 3rd and 4. You almost, not that you need a first down. You got the turnover, but you would love to stretch out this drive a little bit. Take a little bit of time off the clock. Plenty of time to play in this game, but you don't want to come away with the turnover and go straight 3 and out. Willis looking, has a running back wide open, finds Perry. Perry misses the defender, and he gets across the 30-yard line to the 31. Willis still 12 for 13 on the day, only 1 incompletion so far. He is locked in, finding the open man. That is just an unfair matchup. Perry's going to beat that linebacker time in, time again. Unless that's Troy Anderson, he's going to beat him every single time. Willis coming out in the heavy formation. Looks like a run here. Again, be well advised to kind of just keep the ball on the ground. Just making their, at this point in the game, I know certainly some teams may get a little bit of frustration going against these Jets, thinking they're chewing clock, but we've seen it the entire game, even early in the first. When Willis comes to the line, he checks every single call the coach gives him. Whatever the play call is in the huddle, he's changing it as soon as they get to the line. They're not really, it works in effect of chewing down the clock, but they're doing it regardless of where we're at in the game. At least it's consistent. That's all you can ask out of them. Browns coming out in a little bit of a different look, coming out in zone. Again, Willis making his adjustments at the line of scrimmage here. 2nd and 9. Looking like they may throw the ball. They are looking to. And he throws a pick. He throws it over his wide receiver's head. Troy Anderson comes up with the play of the game for the Cleveland Browns, getting the ball back after turning it over. Knocking on the red zone. Troy Anderson gets Stanley Nelson the ball back on their side of the 50. That is a huge, huge play. On the other end, a play of the game. Like we just said, one of the play of the games for the Jets. Now the Browns get their play of the game. Nelson dropping back, looking to the sideline, finds Schwartz. He jumps in front of the defender, able to come down with that one. Nelson, uncharacteristic numbers out of him today. Only 1 touchdown to 2 interceptions. He's looking to change that stat line right here, right now on this drive. 5 minutes left in the 4th. This is why they pay him the big bucks. Here we go. In the red zone, Nelson making his checks at the line of scrimmage. Sees man coverage. It looks like they check out of it. Hits the running back off to the left. Turner has space. He's going to get all the way down to the 4-yard line. Brings up a 1st and goal for the Cleveland Browns. Exactly where they were last drive. I wouldn't be shocked if we just see 3 straight runs here. I say that and they're showing pass. But looks like they audible to the run. They like their look. Turner takes it, cuts it back. Only going to get down to about the 3-yard line. It brings up a 2nd and goal. Here we are, 31-21 is the score. 3-yard line for the Cleveland Browns. 2nd and goal. Fakes the handoff left, finds Davis to the right. Just almost intercepted that one, almost jumped in front of it. But Stanley Nelson stays confident, strikes Davis for the touchdown. That brings the lead back down to 3. Huge turn of events for the Browns there, who it was looking very bleak for a minute after turning it over in the red zone. Jets were driving. They tried to throw the ball to Wilson. The one somewhat inaccurate throw of the day out of Malik Willis. We hadn't seen it all day. Troy Anderson comes up with the play of the game for the Browns. Now, the Jets on this drive are certainly going to try to go ahead and bring down the clock a little bit, get a couple first downs, and end up with a score. That's their goal here. Browns, a little bit of momentum working for them. Could they carry that into the defensive side of the field? They force the ball to the left. Pettis comes up with the pick, and he's going. He's looking for 6. Is he going to get there? He breaks away from the offensive line, and he's in. Oh my gosh. Number one, we got to break this down. What was Malik looking at? What was he looking at? That was pure anticipation. Judy never got the space. They throw up a Hail Mary, and it was absolutely covered. And the Browns fans are jumping out of their seats. Pettis with the play of the game. And the Jets are still in it. They have not lost hope yet, but that has completely turned the tide. Browns are in control here. That momentum is 100% in force right now. The Browns were feeling good after getting that turnover back from the Jets and going down and scoring. How the tables have turned. Malik coming back out of the gun. If somebody needs to remind the Jets, stick to this run game. You got plenty of time left on the clock. You don't need to buy it all back in one play. John House is going deep. I know Malik's looking John House. Nope. Malik escapes out to the right, picks up a first down there. Very smart by Malik. Learned a lesson from the last drive. I had a one-on-one coverage opportunity with John House. Didn't quite have his man beat probably as well as he would have liked. They do stick to the run. I think they are listening up to the broadcast booth here. Gerard Perry is going to get stuffed there for one of the few times today. Averaging 10 yards per carry in the game here. They do hand it off again to Perry as he's going to go ahead and pick up 3 there after getting met at the line of scrimmage by a defender. Brings up a massive 3rd and 7. Gotta think, in the wild card, down 4. God, who knew the Jets would be in this position? But this is 4 down territory. 3 minutes left to go in the 4th. You're down 4, 3rd and 7. Whatever you do, do not take a sack here. But you got to play this like you're playing 4 downs. Hey, you could run the ball here. You could check it down quick. Just hit the open receiver. They do run the ball, though. Very smart as Perry picks up a first down and more down to the 50-yard line. 1st and 10. What a play by the Jets there. What a play call. Again, 4 down territory. You had one in your bag. They stuck with the run. They leaned on Perry. As the Browns come back out in this cover 0, this is what gave the Jets fits on last drive. Or 2 drives ago. Perry picks up 2. Sticking with the run. Very smart, very smart. Chewing down the clock. Trying to also make sure that if they do come away with a score, they pick up the lead, which is the ultimate goal here. That you're not leaving enough time left on the clock for the Browns to go down and try to kick a field goal to tie this game up. Malik out in the gun. Looking to get another playoff here before the 2-minute warning. Again, clock management wise, not necessary. It may be more well advised if you kind of let it milk out. Perry finds a hole off to the left. The defense crashes in and Perry's down across the 20, across the 15, down to the 13-yard line. That brings him over 200 yards on the day, and the Jets are in business. You can still pick up one more first down, but 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line here. What a run. Gerard Perry. Feed that man. Run the damn ball. You go back to last drive and you're almost thinking, what are we doing? Throwing up the Hail Mary to Judy on the first play. Keep the ball on the ground. Looks like the Jets learned their lesson. They go back to the sideline. They didn't let it bother them, and they're surmounting a great drive right here as they go jet sweep. Wilson is not able to find space. That looks like a hold. Brutal call as the Jets just got into the red zone here. Brings up a 1st and 19. That is just absolutely terrible. Zion Johnson also goes down with an injury. I'm not quite sure how many reserves we have here on the Jets sideline for offensive linemen, but it's starting to look a little bit bleak. That's the 2nd offensive line injury this game alone. Good running formation. Very well advised. Gerard Perry, hand it off to him. Get back that yardage, 2nd and 9. Same spot you would have been in from the previous play. Great play call. If on the Browns, you got to start focusing on the run a little bit more, although you don't want to give up an easy touchdown. Minute 40 left here. Just have to be smart with the ball. No need to force anything. You got 3 plays. RPO finds Peoples-Jones out to the left. Peoples-Jones gets in for 6. And the Jets take back the lead. Oh my gosh, Donovan Peoples-Jones, we had not heard his name all day. We haven't heard his name in seasons. He was really the only factor the first 2 seasons of the cycle for the Jets. And then they brought in Jerry Jeudy, they brought in John House, they brought in Ron Smith, and Peoples-Jones ended up being a forgotten name on the bench, but he comes up huge there in this wild card game. They take a 3-point lead, but now you have to question it. Is there too much time on the clock? Stanley Nelson. Minute 30, 2-minute drill, down 3. I know where I'm putting my money. We'll see what he can do. They do have the win against them. That's something good to keep in mind. So you probably have to get maybe to the 45-yard line here to be able to kick a field goal. Yeah, a little bit closer, honestly. About the 42 you have to get to. Just coming out, man coverage. Browns looking deep. And Schwartz comes up big. Just too easy. That man, since season 1, has been the safety valve, if you can call that, but on those streak routes for the Browns. Big drive here in the 4th quarter. Nelson's able to strike him, and now the Jets need to start thinking about using some timeouts here. Nelson hands it off left. Turner is going to get down to about the 12-yard line. If on the Jets, you're calling timeout right there. Not quite sure what they're doing. You got to make sure you're getting the ball back. And Browns are going to be very content making sure this game goes to triple zeros, whether they score or hit a field goal. 2nd and 8. RPO right. Schwartz breaks a tackle. And he's in. He's in for 6. The Browns take the lead back. What a play. The RPO coming up clutch for both squads on the past 3 drives. And the Browns are going to extend this lead to 4, 42-38. Jets have all 3 timeouts. Probably should have used them there. Malik has to score, but with only 19 seconds left, this would be an all-time drive if he's able to do it. They do sort of a little interesting kick. Probably very smart. Jets are going to try to get a good return, and it only takes 4 seconds off the clock, but only get down to the 26-yard line. Probably worth the return. 15 seconds left. Jets obviously coming out in their passing formation. Browns are looking not to let anything happen over top. Jets have plenty of timeouts, so you can throw this ball anywhere in the field. House sort of gets held up, and they just yuck it up, and Pettis is going to come away with that pick, and that one is just about to going to seal it for the Cleveland Browns here as they try to go back to back in these playoffs. A massive scare in the first round here. Jets gave them a hell of a game. I'd say this is the game of the season that we just went through right here. Huge shout out to both sides, Jets and the Browns. You go back to that Pettis play, the pick 6 that turned the tides. Great offense out of both sides. Congrats to the Jets on a great season. I know they wanted a better result, and best of luck to the Browns here as we move forward through the rest of these playoffs. They try to be, if not the first, but one of the first teams to go back to back here in the NEFL, and Stanley Nelson tries to notch his 3rd Super Bowl MVP. But I appreciate you guys being in here. Stay tuned. We're going to go ahead, we're not going to be able to host anyone today because we are limited on hosts because we already did it earlier. So that's going to wrap it up for us here today, and the rest of the crew here at NESN. Appreciate you guys tuning in for this game. We're going to try to stream a game every single night this week. If not, we're certainly going to try and make sure that we are streaming one game from each round throughout these playoffs until we get into the off season. But thank you again, guys. I appreciate you having me. Until next time, JB out. Cook that shit up, Quay.